How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, the founder of the Hard Gainer Academy. And what I want to talk about today is I'm going to be giving you 5 tips that you can use for your weight training when you're just getting started in the gym. This will help you actually get further ahead of the people who don't know about these tips, and you'll be on your way as far as changing your body, getting rid of the skinny fat, and building some muscle. So I won't waste any more time. So the first tip is respect the warm-up. All right, you don't have to go crazy when it comes to your warm-up. You just want to do something that'll get your blood flowing and get your joints loose. I like to go on a treadmill for about 10 minutes. I go on like a speed of 3, so it's not strenuous at all. And I feel good after that 10 minutes, and then I get into the weights. Another way that you can warm up is that you could choose a lighter weight before you get into the working sets or the weight that you're choosing to use, and just warm up your joints that way as well. Whatever you do, just make sure that you warm up. This is very important. And again, you're less likely actually to get hurt because your joints will be ready. All right. So the second thing is monitor your rest times, right? A lot of times we do rest times and we're not monitoring how long we're taking our rest. You don't want to be resting for 5 minutes between sets. You don't want to be resting for 4 minutes, 10 minutes, and so on. Remember, we're trying to build muscle here. We want to put stress on the muscle. So again, it's one of those things where if we're going to be focusing on building muscle, a good rest time that you can follow is either a minute or 90 seconds. So that'd be 60 seconds or 90 seconds to be more analytical with that. So those are some good rest time ranges when you're working towards building muscle and you're working within a rep range of anywhere, I'd say between 10 to 12, maybe 15, or even 8 in some cases. But again, you just want to make sure you're getting enough rest so when you get into the next set, you can be efficient. All right, so keep track of those rest times. And it also comes down to when you monitor your rest times, you can even progress or you can make more changes by lowering your rest times. So let's say you don't want to increase the weight yet, but you want to make sure you're putting stress on the muscle. Lowering your rest times are one of the ways to do that. So monitoring it will go a long way. The third thing, the emphasis on proper technique or emphasizing on proper technique. Why is it important? A lot of times we have issues with our postures. We're sitting in our desk or sitting in our chairs all day. So when you're doing any particular type of an exercise, think about your posture. We always talk about retracting your scapula, right? Having an upright position, right? Squeezing those shoulder blades. Doing things like this get your body into that particular type of behavior. So when you're sitting at your desk, you'd be like, wait a second, I got to remain upright. And when you're doing these workouts and you're doing these exercises, you're working those muscles to help you keep upright a lot better. So fixing your posture essentially. So things like the deadlift, that will help with your lower back, right? There's a lot of people that tend to deal with lower back issues. So strengthening that lower back can go a long way. Working your rear delts, doing a lot of pulling type of movements, back exercises will help improve your posture. And while you're doing that, retracting that scapula, squeezing those shoulder blades, like I said previously, will go a long way as far as making you look upright, and you also look taller as well instead of looking hunched over. So things like that, emphasizing technique, really help. I've spoke a lot about form in the past videos, but again, form is key and it's something that you really want to take seriously because as you get stronger, you're going to be using heavier weight. So the last thing you want to do is have bad form and you're using heavy weight because there's a good chance you're going to get hurt. So for the next one is be calculated in your approach. So what do I mean by this? Being calculated means is having patience. Don't walk into the gym. Let's say you're a skinny fat guy. You see another guy, he's benching 225. So 2 plates on each side. Don't say, well, you know what? I really want to get there because I want to start looking like that person. So I'm going to go and put up 225. You haven't built up your strength base to get there as of yet. So be patient. This is why I always say it's always a huge priority to make sure that you're tracking your progress and you're tracking what you're doing inside the gym. Because you will end up getting to that point. It's just that you have to be calculated. You got to be patient. It is a gradual process. Because like I always say, if you get hurt, you can't train. If you can't train, you can't build muscle or get the body that you want. All right. So it's one of those things that you want to be patient with everything that you do. So it also comes down to the fact if you're a beginner, then there's no reason for you to always be training until failure. Every set doesn't need to be until failure. You want to make sure that you can actually challenge yourself, but you can also handle the weight at the same time. That is the most important thing when you're just getting started and you want to build some muscle. All right. So choose a weight that you can manage, but it's also challenging at the same time, and work within those higher rep ranges like I told you in regards to anything I'd say between 10 to maybe 15 reps, or even you can go, I would say at the bare minimum, 8 reps. All right. So for the next one, utilize your rest days. I understand you want to build muscle, you want to put on some size, you're really excited. You saw a program online that said, hey, 7 days a week, you got to show up in the gym. You only can make it for, let's say, 3 or 4. And then you start beating yourself up. Or you're training and you're doing 6, 7 days a week and your body's feeling beat up and you're sore. And then you're like, man, I'm not even trying to hit the gym right now. You ever hear about those type of scenarios? We hear it all the time. It's like, oh, my body hurts. The reason why it's happening is because you know what? You need to take advantage of your rest days. There are other factors in place as well as far as your nutrition, rest and recovery, and so on. But in particular, your rest days are very, very important. Because if you're one of those guys where you feel like, hey, you know what, you need to train every day in order to build muscle, trust me, get yourself out of that mindset. Taking a 1 or 2 days off goes a long way as far as helping your central nervous system, helping your body recover, helping those muscles recover. Remember, you do not grow inside the gym. You grow outside the gym. I'm going to say that again. You are tearing down your muscles inside the gym. Where you grow is outside of it. When you're eating, you're sleeping, all of that. So those rest days, please take advantage of them. If you notice you're training every single day and your body is always feeling beat up and sore, then you need to cut back on it. Another thing that I want to kind of touch on with your rest days as well, which will help as well if you're dealing with a little bit of soreness, is be active. Be mobile. Don't just lay down. Just don't sit down there. Get your body moving. Get your blood flowing. This goes a long way. I am telling you this right now. On my rest days, I used to be like, all right, I ain't going to do nothing. Train hard in the gym. I'm not going to do anything. But then I started taking some walks, started moving around more. And on some days, I'll do some light cardio. And guess what? I would start feeling better. But over time, as you get more experience with training, you're going to be experiencing less muscle soreness anyways. It's just one of those things that we all go through, but you can minimize it. All right. Another thing that I want to talk about lastly about utilizing those rest days is it's good if you could put them one day after the other. I know some people like to do 3 days on, 1 day off, or 2 days on, 1 day off. If you're going to be following like a full body program, for example, so you don't want to be doing full body back-to-back days, right? You don't need to be working the muscle consecutively 2 days in a row, because if you really trained it hard enough, you wouldn't be able to effectively do that. So choosing, let's say you work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or maybe there might be a time where you need 2 days in between, whatever the case may be. I'd always say make sure you give yourself a rest day in between. It will help you in regards to your recovery, all right? So again, these are the 5 weight training tips that beginners can use to get a head start in the gym so they can start building muscle and lose the skinny fat. I hope you found this helpful, and stay tuned for the next video tomorrow. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Peace out.